Hi, everybody, and welcome back to Cat's Track. We post an interview with an amazing Canadian each weekday for your daily inspiration. Today, I would like to introduce you to my dear friend, Brad Robson. Brad was born and raised in Calgary and loves it here. Lucky us. He tells me that he would not be the person that he is without his family's support, love and support, even though at times, especially as a teenager, he was a handful. Brad, you're a handful now. I can only imagine. When Brad got married to his amazing wife, Teresa, his mom told her that there would not be any returns. So funny. He also tells me that his friends keep him grounded and humble. For that, he is very grateful. Besides his loved ones, Brad is most passionate about supporting people, whether it's through philanthropy, random acts of kindness, and leaving the world a better place than how he found it. And he certainly does that every day. Friends, you'll find his full bio attached. Brad, thank you so much for joining us today.
Oh, my pleasure, Catherine. I just really have been looking forward to this. I'm on vacation for the last 5 days, as you know, and this has been one of my focus. So I really appreciate spending some time with you and talking with you today. So thank you for the invitation.
Me too. I'm excited. I've really enjoyed getting to know you better through the American Chamber and our work together, and just such a pleasure to work with, and such a good friend already. So I'm delighted that we could do this today.
No, thanks very much, Catherine. Through your leadership of this chapter as well too, and how we're going to better integrate with the American Chamber of Commerce. It's really helped me to understand you and get to know you better. So I really do count you as one of my good close friends as well.
Oh, so nice. Lucky me. Okay, the questions that I sent you ready to rock?
You sure am.
Awesome. Okay, the first one, your greatest challenge in the last few months.
Well, I'm sure it's like everybody, Catherine. It's just sustaining the momentum on retaining and remaining connected in your personal and professional life. A lot of plans have been on hold, dependent upon the closure of the Canada-US border. Business opportunities are on pause or have taken another direction, requiring different participants or companies or solutions. Good news, but it extends the process, extends the delivery cycle for a lot of things. So I think the real big challenge for me is I'm an action-based guy. I like to pick up the phone and engage and deliver, whether it's just helping somebody change a tire or business on a global scale. And that's been the biggest challenge, is just remaining connected, keeping that momentum of communication going forward. Has that been your experience as well?
Oh, very much so. Yeah, I'm really glad that we've had each other through this, and we've got our bubble of friends and colleagues that we're still able to communicate with and do things with. But the level of impact has certainly been reduced dramatically. So I'm with you.
Yeah, it's been difficult to also just maintain that. I like handshakes, I like hugs, I like that human contact, and it's been different not being able to have that as part of your daily routine. So I'm glad I've got a good family around me and some good friends, and that certainly helps through that as well too. So there's a personal challenge, and also it ties over to the professional life as well too.
Yeah, is that right? I'm glad we have our loved ones. We're so blessed. And for the ones that don't, I feel so sad.
True, but they're the people that I seem to reach out to the most and make sure I keep in contact with them, or a phone call, or those sorts of things. And especially our elderly family members or elderly friends or neighbors sometimes overlook that they need the most of our attention at the moment.
They sure do. You're a good human. And what are the three things that you want to share with everyone today?
I think one of the we're talking about it already, where it's our sense of community is drastically changed, and obviously will remain so for the foreseeable future. And whether it's a personal or business group or something, it's that sense of community that's forever going to change. And I think that it's important that we have to be adaptive on how best to, as we just talked about, support each other and maintain the simple things like common courtesy and patience. So the second thing is that I've been very privileged to see how great ideas are turned into great solutions. And that's sort of what we're doing with the it's what we're doing with the American Chamber of Commerce chapter as well. And then what we do in our personal and business lives as well too, Catherine. And most of the times it does start with just that small group of people. And when combined with a bigger team, no matter where they are in the world, extraordinary things happen. And I think the second point I'd like to make is just ensure that we keep expanding our networks, much like you are, I think, the epitome of that definition of expanding networks.
That's so nice.
And being part of your network, by the way, just as a simple plug for you, is well deserved, as well as the expansion of my network, which I thought was pretty robust and global and inclusive. Putting the our two together has been quite significant. So I'm appreciative of being part of that circle as well too. And you've taught me a lot of things about making sure networks are maintained. And that leads me to the last one, which is believe in yourself at all times. No one knows the value of what you do or who you're who you are or what you're capable of doing more than yourself. And we tend to lose a lot of that lately because we're so focused elsewhere, social media or entertainment, or wondering what that next step is going to be. My third item I'd like to leave with people is something that I've taken a lot of time to really adopt and I guess become more comfortable with, is believe more in me rather than looking at the success through others. So that's been an interesting change.
That's very profound. Thank you for sharing that.
Mm-hmm.
Before we get to your good news or legacy story, may I ask you another question?
Sure, absolutely.
You've mentioned AmCham there again. What's your vision for the ideal member? What's your vision for what the members would receive as being part of the membership? How would they be part of that community, and what does that look like from your perspective?
Well, much like what I do in my professional life, Catherine, is I really make sure that I understand what the requirements are and figure out a way to work collectively and collaboratively to deliver on whatever that requirement may be. It could be a technology solution from elsewhere. It could be just access to an individual for information and support. So mirroring what I do or what I have been doing for the last 30 plus years, and what we're leading now within AmCham, is really understand and communicate with our current members, past members, and understand what the deliverables are and requirements for our new members. And those are things such as building upon all our networks of people, capability, and information, and provide that willingly over the fence, so to speak, to help build that person's business interests and their agenda first and foremost, while being part of growing their business or creating a better opportunity for their growth, whether it's in the United States or Canada or vice versa. But make sure that there's an ample and a very significant support group around them. Provide that best possible piece of information at a critical time. Make sure it's current and substantive as well. And then just offer as much as we can in terms of our own individual resources or access to our collective or our hive, if you will, of AmCham membership on a global scale. And we should really ensure that we're never going to take that next step alone in growing our business or expanding our marketplace, or even searching or resourcing where our next opportunity may be. It's not necessarily more transactional. It's more, let's be a friendly, willing network of development and support. So that's, I think, what our members are looking for. The type of members we're seeking are absolutely everything from every industry that we can possibly think of, market segments that are non-traditional that people would think in Western Canada, Alberta, Manitoba, and Saskatchewan. Everything from that agricultural base right through to what technology can be utilized in mining asteroids in space so far down the future. That's the type of people that I like to surround myself with. I know you do, and I know the folks at AmCham currently really love that intelligent, purposeful, big idea, big delivery type of individuals, and that's what I think. I know I was part of the program of how we're going to define the types of members that we want. So that's more of what I would say.
I love it. Thank you, Brad. And I've got one other question. You're always so giving to everyone and forthright and helping so many. What is one thing that we could do for you?
Well, that's a big loaded question. Yesterday it was I needed another lime margarita, and I had to get up and get it myself on vacation. No, it's a loaded question, Catherine. I appreciate that. Um, I think it would just be one of the traits that I need to learn to do more of, which is have patience. And for me, as a person that's more uh, I call it intelligently reactive, which means I bring in as much information as possible in order to make the fastest decision possible, hopefully always in the right direction. So as much as I'm trying to learn to be more patient with people, especially in the way we're changing and communicating and doing business with each other, is I'd like to see a little bit more patience uh, as a support model for me. Um, it sounds self-serving, but if I'm giving it, I need to have a little bit more of that back as well too, because I'm scrambling almost every day. It seems
You've got a
everything's a
lot.
priority.
You've got a lot on your plate, and it's part of you serving so many people.
True, but that's what I like to do.
I know, it's your
Gives me
jam.
great joy.
It's your
It's
jam.
hard. It's hard to say no. Hard to say no.
I love it. Keep up the good work, Brad.
Well,
Your
thank
good
you.
news. Sorry, go ahead.
Oh no, it's just a great opportunity to work with people to achieve those goals and objectives as well, and just seeing that they're successful because of something that I contributed to or was part of their team. You feel the same way too, I'm sure.
Yep. Yep. I just wanted to put you on the spot. You know, it's what good friends
Easily
do.
done. Yeah.
And what's your good news or legacy story, or what you'd like to share in closing?
Well, I think there's a couple of things. The legacy is really compassion and communication, and I've spent a lot of time over the past month really defining in my mind what compassion and communication is. And I think the legacy that I'd like to leave behind is knowing that I was an active and a willing participant in being compassionate for whether it's a situational issue or a business problem, personal, or a friend, and also be better at communicating, which some elements of this interview and this conversation shows I'm a good communicator, others rambling, but that's who we are and how we are as humans. But they're both traits that I have committed to working on daily. And it's by doing so, you get to recognize what opportunities that exist and what's available to either be an active participant to support and grow that, or you are learning something and you're being part of something bigger than yourself as well. And that's on the philanthropic side, but also that brings that capability into business as well. And I think the what's next or the good news story is that by me working with so many people and recognizing what I've done personally over how many years I've been on the planet, as well as the 30 years of active business engagement in a variety of roles, is you never do it alone. And it's making sure that you really surround yourself with those capable and competent individuals. So the what's next for me is continuing to just move in that direction to ensure that I'm doing what I'm supposed to be doing, what I should be doing, and what I care about, and ensuring that I've got people around me that do the exact same thing. So if I were to go back to your bio, I'm quite certain those are traits that you look for as well.
We're two peas in a pod.
A very large pod, I would say.
A large pod. Oh, Brad, I love that we have our friendship, and thank you so much for taking time. I know you're extremely busy. First day after vacation is always so well done.
Well, my pleasure, and I was really delighted to have you ask me. And when I look back on how many folks and the type of individuals you've talked to on Cat's Track, I am just very humbled and very honored to be part of that group of individuals that you want to have this conversation with. So I thank you for your friendship, and I thank you for the leadership you're showing, which I knew by name and by reputation within AmCham, but also get to know you as a person and a friend as well too. And I value that. So thank you very much.
Oh, thank you, Brad. Thank you. Everybody, that was my dear friend and colleague, Brad Robson. Check out the American Chamber of Commerce. Come and have some fun with us and watch what he's doing. He has so many interesting projects. You'll be pleased to watch. Thank you again for joining us at Cat's Track, and we'll see you next time. Have a great day.